It's a joy hat. You've got it. Woo! By $1. Oh, boy. Well done. Thank you very much. 105. Oh, bad luck. There we go.
Oh, thank you very much.
And thus, ladies and gentlemen, Damon Mackay becomes the second highest quiz winner in world quiz history with that grand total. Great effort. Big stuff.
My 15 minutes was, I was on Sale of the Century, and I was one of the all-the-way winners in 1987. And I achieved a modicum of fame, recognised in the streets, and for a little while.
Looking at other people then, you don't think they were your colleagues, they were in the theatre, whether or not they were thinking of fame as the great golden sunset into which everybody walks, there just isn't room, of course, on the stage. There's such an overcrowded profession.
There was 8 of us at the time actually, and we made fools of ourselves in front of the Year 12s, and they liked it, and they all suggested to go on Red Faces, and it was over a year later when we did get on.
The 915's performing from South Australia, which is a long way away to have to perform it, but they're doing Humpty Dumpty Rap.
2, 3, 4.
Humpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty, Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Yo, Humpty, Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty hit his head. Humpty Dumpty now he in bed. Humpty Dumpty no one was cool. Humpty Dumpty man young screw. Humpty, Humpty Dumpty, Humpty, Humpty. Humpty's fallen now while spoken. 80,000 pieces. Humpty is broken. Humpty, Humpty Dumpty. The king and his horses, the king and his men tried to fix Humpty, but the sucker were dead.
Oh, we were just getting his autograph, and the people from the Young Modern magazine just said they wanted a photo, and Royalson said, oh, with my 2 friends. They said it's going to be on the front cover of the magazine, which used to be the magazine in Adelaide.
At the time, I won a total of $346,000, and at the time that was the second highest quiz-winning show in the world. I got a kitchen, a $25,000 Miele kitchen, which is we plonked into the house that we paid cash for, and we got a speedboat, 2 cars, 2 Holdens, a trip first class to Malaysia and Thailand, and sitting on the plane with, would you like some more Bollinger with your caviar, Mr. McGough? Yeah, fill it up, no problem. It was quite easy to get used to.
We were staying in Eastbourne, it would have been, yes, 1966. And we'd taken the 2 girls to the park. I'd made friends with 2 little girls. So I said, well, how about an ice cream? And then I thought, well, perhaps I'd better let the little girls' parents know where she was in case she disappeared for longer than they wanted. And one of them said, oh, well, our parents are not here, but our governesses are. And I thought, wow, governesses in the plural. So I was taken along to meet the governesses, 2 middle-aged, very pleasant ladies, 1 Canadian, 1 British, I think, not quite certain of that last fact. Anyway, I said I'd like them to have an ice cream, and they said, oh yes, and they gave some directions that little girls don't be too long or something like that. And then one of them, the Canadian one, just casually turned to me and she said, oh, you do know they're the Chaplin children, don't you? And I said, well, no, I didn't, but could they have an ice cream just the same? For my 2 daughters to join the family for the whole day, the next day, at the Grand Hotel Eastbourne, where apparently the children of the family and the governesses stay when Charlie Chaplin fantastic hospitality. I mean, only just met them the day before, didn't know us at all. I rather think perhaps it's their policy, and a very good one, with children who are open to become aware of the fame that they enjoyed and that they might be different people. Might have been their policies very wisely to, you know, make these little invitations that we were just one of another family with whom they made contact.
Our original practice when we first got there, the bloke who organised it said, yeah, he said, you guys are going to have to fire up or something, or it's going to be an ordinary night. And then we had a practice out near the pool. And
I don't think the bloke liked us, actually. He thought we were going to come last.
Being black, I thought you went off. I gave you a 10.
And then we had to come back on to get congratulated. They usually give you the cheque there and then, but they didn't. And the high fives were rife at that stage.
When we were having our photo taken with Roy Orbison, we saw the Beach Boys there, and so we went over and got their autograph, and he happened to say, you know, whereabouts in Adelaide can you get a coffee after 10 o'clock? There's nowhere. So me and my big pal said, back at my place. So he said, okay, and of course, oh no. So then we started walking, hand in hand as well, down the street to North Terrace. Then we had to get a bus to Hackney, and then my father picked us up when he knocked off work, and that was really good. We was in the back seat having a few kisses, and I was on cloud nine.
And oh, you mentioned the brush with fame. Well, I suppose the person who has become famous since those early days is Paul Eddington, of course. And later on, most of the cast, I think, for these two plays, we went into a play at the Birmingham Rep for the 1945 Christmas show.
I also went backstage in Blacktown, Sydney, and got the Bee Gees autograph. And that was all up my arm as well. Didn't wash for a week or two, just very lightly. And this is when they were just starting to become famous.
They used me quite a bit in the publicity because they said I was quite popular because I bought everything.
$7 once, $7 twice, $7 three times. Give them to your mother for $5. Now, best wishes.
I'll take it, Tony, I'd love it.
And also I was very poor. And I said, well fed but poor. I was a lot fatter than those days. But they used me a fair bit for radio interviews and television, and they actually flew me over to Sydney for an interview with the newspaper and put me up in Kerry Packer's boardroom and gave me free grog, picked me up in a limo, all those types of things, all the accoutrements of fame, which was great.
Well, we only told a few people, but by the time we got back, everyone would say, oh, I saw you on Red Fair. Like,
Word got around.
it was actually on at Lenny's.
Was it?
Yeah, it was on the screen, like, early on in the night. They always show Hey Hey Saturday or something, and like, everyone saw it up on the screen and that, so...
People would come up to you and say, you know, you've won all this money, I hate you for winning all this money and having it, but you did something that I couldn't do myself, and they would say, well, you know, and it's great to know somebody who's actually done it.
Of course, my mother, as I say, used to be connected with the theatre, and she used to say to me, rather a wry smile on her face, all the men become well known and none of the women. Oh, by which, of course, she meant the usual age-old story, the women get married and sink into anonymity and, well, not all of them, but quite a large percentage.
That was one of the big worries, was that particularly my mother's a very much of a worrier about most things, but that was a big worry that she said, oh, look, you've won all this money, and, you know, everybody knows that you've got it, and they know what you look like and where you live and all these types of things. What are you going to do about the begging letters? And my dad looked up from his paper and said, oh, if I was you, I'd keep sending them out.
Oh, I know another wonderful piece of advice my mother gave me. Yes, I remember her saying to somebody in front of me, I was supposed to be listening, I was supposed to be hear about it. Ah, well, let her go on the stage and do it. She won't, that's right. She'd be only too keen to marry off it, something like that. But when I went back for one of the Tournament of Champions, it said you get picked up in a limousine and Mr. Mackay go with a hat and all these types of things.
And we went and sat out in the limos feeling good, and suddenly this, probably a group of 20 young girls, screaming girls, came over and started thumping on the roof and looking in the windows. And, and one of them finally looked in and said, no, they're nobodies, and then ran off down to another area, and we asked the driver, and he just turned around and he said, oh, Bon Jovi's arriving this morning. So it kind of puts you in your place, here we are, feeling pretty good. And so all fame's relative, I suppose. They didn't know who in the hell we were, losers. They said, they're nobodies, off you go.
Yeah, how old would you have been, roughly, getting all those photographs?
16 and a half.
Did you ever go out of chasing the stars around?
I'd go backstage to the Stones one if I could have got there, but no, you can't get backstage now, unfortunately. I would like to,
Yeah.
And it's funny that like we were on national TV just for a bit of a joke type thing, to have a bit of fun, and we got friends like Mark's friend who wanted to come on because you could easily include another person in the backup group, and his name's Marco, and he wants to be an actor and all that, and he was so envious of us. He tried so hard to get on TV and all that, and we would just clicked our fingers and got on, and he's such an aspiring young actor. And
somebody said just recently, is that the highlight of your life? And I said, God, I hope not. Hell, yeah, because I'm only, I was 27 or something when I won. And yeah, it's something nice to look back on, and it's nice having the tape of the game, and also the scrapbook and all the house. Hell, still got all the stuff that we bought. But it's just, it's not like it's something that I went out and sought. I didn't look for fame. And I didn't really get much, but I got enough of it to realise that it would be quite seductive. Like I said, the limousines and the Kerry Packer's boardroom, all those types of things. And if you really wanted it, like people I feel sorry for is these like Summer Bay type of show people, and they're accepting Logies at 15 and burger and fry orders at 17. They're where have they gone? And because you're treated so well, and with respect, and all these the people that have to deal with you on a professional basis about it, and it would be very seductive, and it would be very painful to some person who really sought fame to lose it. When they say it's better to have been a has-been than a never has-been, I don't know. I think it might be better to have been a never has been, or not care if you were a has been, because you lose a lot. You could. As I said, it's very seductive, fame.
Are we going to go into the middle or what?
Yeah. Yeah, just do it. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Humpty. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty.
Matt doesn't know his words.
Okay, when you're ready.
When we're ready?
Yep.
Count us in, bye.
1, 2,
Ready?
2, 3. Humpty. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty. Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the king's men, couldn't put Humpty together again. Yo, Humpty.
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty hit his head. Humpty Dumpty now in bed. Humpty Dumpty no was screwed. Humpty Dumpty man, you're screwed.